Yo, what's up guys, it's NLW Figs here, back again with another video. Today, this is the best of the month setup, which I do monthly. This month is for December. So this December we had the build to day 1 in WWE, and in AEW they had their big Hangman versus Danielson at Winter is Coming, plus a couple of Holiday Bash episodes of AEW which were very exciting, and also ROH held its final event of the year and its final event before it goes on hiatus. A lot to talk about, but before I do, make sure you like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe to NLW Figs for more wrestling figure content. But without further ado, let's get into the action. So, we'll start off from this side, and we've got here Johnny Gargano, the heart and soul of NXT, seemingly no longer. Johnny Gargano's contract with NXT recently expired after the War Games pay-per-view, which was a pretty decent event, all things considered, and now they're shifting in a different direction with NXT 2.0, so a lot of the older names are going, like Kyle O'Reilly, which I'll get to, and Johnny Gargano. So, what does the future hold for Gargano at the time of recording? Could go to AEW, may not. I don't know if he's going to take a break or what's going on with Gargano, but I have to say I'm looking forward to what Johnny Wrestling will do in 2022. And speaking of 2022, we ring in the new year with a new TNT champion. That's right, Cody Rhodes is the brand new TNT champion on the final, or at least the Christmas episode of Rampage it was, yeah. He beat Sammy Guevara to win the TNT Championship, and this whole saga of Cody Rhodes, will he turn heel, will he not? What's going on? The fans seem to hate him at the moment. I'm kind of indifferent to the guy. I think it's kind of amusing to see, to be honest. You know, I think that they know what they're doing with this character, because it's not like they're unaware of it. Cody seems to be kind of antagonising the fans a little bit more, so it might be a slower build than what we're used to, but I do think he'll probably turn full-blown heel at some point in the future. It is an interesting story though, and I'm intrigued to see how it kind of progresses. And as we see behind Cody there, we've got CM Punk and Sting. Yes, they team together for the first time ever on Dynamite towards the end of the year. They take on the team of MJF and FTR and Sting, well, basically it was a story of respect. Sting was dressed with the CM Punk face paint, and CM Punk had the Surfer Sting stuff, and it was one of the better Dynamite matches of the year, actually. You had MJF desperately trying to flee CM Punk, not wanting anything to do with him. Darby Allin obviously doing Darby Allin things, and Sting looking fantastic for 62 years old in that ring. And you can see on the outside as well, MJF berating CM Punk, well, always complaining is MJF. But when will that match happen? MJF versus CM Punk. Looks like it's going to be at Revolution at this point, but maybe it'll be on Dynamite at some point, we don't know. But it's going to be an interesting match nonetheless. One of CM Punk's best feuds so far since joining AEW. And speaking of joining AEW, what does the future hold for Jeff Hardy? At the start of the month, he was sadly released by WWE, and it's a real shame, you know, kind of a wasted opportunity with Jeff Hardy. I heard him talk on the Stone Cold podcast it was, where he essentially was like talking about all these ideas he had for his character, and sadly it never came to be. He was released. You know, there was some addressing of issues and stuff like that, but Matt Hardy says he's fine, his family say he's okay, and Jeff himself says he's in a good place. Just hoping for the best for him, to hopefully, you know, get his head right, kind of relax a little bit, because, you know, being on the road, it's not easy on anyone, and especially for someone who's been doing this for as long as he has. He's earned a break, so I don't expect him to be in wrestling anytime soon, but once he is, you know, I'm sure the wrestling fandom will welcome him back with open arms. Here's hoping that Jeff has a good 2022. And a woman who is going to have a good 2022 is Liv Morgan. Now, at day 1, obviously this isn't a January setup, it's a December setup, so I won't talk about what happened at day 1, but it does look like Liv Morgan is rising up the card. Will she win the Women's Royal Rumble next month? Who knows? But she had a good showing against Becky Lynch at day 1, and again, she's someone who seems to be the future of the women's division at the moment. They seem to be pushing for her hard at the moment, which I'm all for. I think she's got that fan support, which is great to see. I think she does great work, and looking forward to what she does in 2022. Speaking of 2022, we're going to start off the new year with Hangman versus Danielson. At the time of recording, I don't know what the result is of their match on January 5th. I'm recording it just a couple hours before Dynamite, so I don't know, but I will speak as to what happened on Winter is Coming, December 15th, when Bryan and Hangman went to a time limit draw, 60 minutes. It was a fantastic match. I know some people say it went too long, they don't like the draw, but honestly it was a wrestling clinic and I would urge anyone who hasn't seen it to go and watch it. It may have helped a little bit more, not knowing the result, I should say, watching the match, as it kind of added to the tension. If you know there's going to be a draw, it might take you out of it a little bit. But that said, I think it's a masterclass. It really shows that Hangman can hang, no pun intended, in the world title scene. And from AEW to Ring of Honor, we've got Final Battle, which was their first or last event, before they went on hiatus. A lot of notable things on that show. Jonathan Gresham winning the ROH World Championship in Bandido's absence, so it'll be interesting to see, because I know Gresham is defending it at GCW in a couple of weeks' time, and on the Indies as well, so it's keeping that title in the mainstream. But also at that event we saw Adam Scherr, formerly known as Braun Strowman, make his debut with the Follow the Narrative collective with EC3, so when ROH returns, will we see Strowman appear more? We also had FTR make a surprise appearance at Final Battle, so you know, it would be sad if the company's shut down completely. It would be nice to see what happens moving forward, but all I'm hoping for the ROH talent, because they really put on a great show at Final Battle, and you don't want to see their talents go to waste, so hoping that 2022, the ROH roster lands on its feet, whether that's in ROH or any other company around the world. And now we've also got a feud that sparked up recently in WWE. We have Edge and The Miz, and at day one it seems like the feud was only just beginning, because now it's been announced that they're going to fight again at the Royal Rumble with their respective wives in their corners in a tag match. So that's going to be interesting to see how that develops, but I've enjoyed the promo work between these two. It's one of the few highlights of WWE that I've kind of caught up on recently. Yeah, good work by both men. Just seeing where they go from here is going to be interesting. And also going to be interesting, or what could have been interesting actually, is the Brock Lesnar saga. You know, Sami Zayn, at the start of the month, he was penciled in as the #1 contender, and now that seems to be, I don't know, up in the air really, because he seems to be this comic relief character, which is fine, but I know he can do more. It'd be nice if he was, if he actually had a match against Brock Lesnar. I mean, it might be a squash, but it would still be interesting to see. You know, I don't know what Sami Zayn's going to do from here, because he is someone who's one of my favourites, or has been for a while, and it doesn't really seem like he's doing anything of value. He's just kind of there. Then again, Lesnar, he's WWE champion right now. Obviously it's not in this list because it happened in January, so we're looking at potentially a Lesnar versus Reigns match at WrestleMania, title for title. But we've also got in the near future at the Royal Rumble, Lesnar versus Lashley, which, oh my god, I am so excited for. Sign me up for that one. We've been waiting for it for ages, and it's going to finally happen. And we've also been waiting for this man to make his glorious AEW debut. It is Kyle O'Reilly, the Violent Artist. Yes, he debuted during a match between Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole, and just as the match was about to end, Adam Cole was down and out on the canvas. As you see here, Bobby Fish came down to ringside to try and help his friend, and then from the crowd came Kyle O'Reilly to attack Orange Cassidy from behind, and now it looks like the Undisputed Era is all back together in AEW, which is so surreal to see that NXT dropped the ball on them and they're all now in AEW, and it looks like in the future we're going to get the Elite versus the Undisputed Era, because they're already teasing some stuff with the Young Bucks, which is very interesting to see. I cannot wait for AEW in 2022. Can't wait to see what the Undisputed Era do moving forward. They had a great match against the Best Friends on the last Dynamite of the year. What are they going to do next year? We'll find out, but it's going to be explosive when it does happen. Maybe blood and guts between the UE and the Elite. Who knows? It's certainly an exciting time to be a wrestling fan heading into the new year, but what did you think of this video, and what did you think of the action that we saw in December? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to NLW Figs for more wrestling figure content. That's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.